Okay, we're going to make our rebate top box, which is what you're going to make in the actual lesson. We're going to make it now in CAD, and we're going to make it in a slightly different way. You made your mitosaur box by making separate parts and then assembling them together. In Autodesk Fusion, we can use components and something called its bodies to make your piece in one go, so you don't have to make all the separate bits. So let's give it a go, see how we get on. So what you're going to do is first of all, if you right click on this, make a new component, and we're going to double click on this, and we're going to call that, he says double click, call that plywood base. Okay, now because that's highlighted, I'm working on just this component. So what I'm going to do now is go to my sketch. I'm going to fit this back in, here we go. Why are you all the way over there? And all skew if, let's just... But you should end up with something like this. Whoa, mine's all over the place today. That's because I zoomed out. Okay, you'll end up with something like that. You won't need this. I'm going to build from the bottom, so I'm going to click on there. Okay, I'm going to make a rectangle, so I'm going to click that or press R on the keyboard for shortcut. I'm going to click, I'm going to drag it out. Now I know I want my second box to be 100 by 100, as do you. Press return. And again, and I want that to fit. My sketch is made, so I'm going to stop my sketch. I'm going to extrude it, so if I go to extrude or press E, click on my sketch, and the distance is 3 mil. And that will give me, if I now go to my rotate, the plywood base. If I click A on the keyboard for appearance, here's my appearance. Let's move over here. Let's see what woods we've got today. Now I thought I saw the update had plywoods, but maybe not. So I'm going to make this look like cherry, which I've got up here already. So I'm going to drag that there. If you haven't got that, you just drag whichever one you want up there and do that. Okay? So I can get rid of that because I've made my first, press escape, we'll get rid of that, he says. There you go. I've made my first component. Now all my other bits are going to be made on top of my plywood. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to the top one, I'm going to right click again, I'm going to go new component. And this one's going to be my rebate side 1. Now you'll notice this has kind of gone invisible. It's because we're not working on the plywood anymore, we're working on a new component. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go sketch. I'm going to click on the surface of this. Now it might be quite hard because it's kind of invisible-ish. If I click on it, it'll take me to it anyway. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to do one edge, and I'm going to do this top edge. So use your middle wheel to scroll and pan like you've done before. So I'm going to build a rectangle on here. So I'm going to click my rectangle, top corner. I'm going to drag it out, drag it down. Now I know I want that to be 100, which it is. If I click 100 and then the tab key, top left on your keyboard, and that's going to be 10, and press enter, enter again. I've got my first bit of wood. Now we're going to make the rebate joint. So I'm going to use put my arrow over here, my cursor. I'm going to scroll it. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to use the line tool, which you can find in the sketch menu, or you can just press L for line. If you scroll it into the middle until a little triangle comes in, show us in the middle, click once, drag down. Now I know I want this to be 10 and 90 degrees, which it is, so that's good. If I press the tab, I'm happy with the 90, so I can then press return, return again, and I'm going to put another line in from the end of this one until it hits that line there. Okay, I'm now going to press T for trim again. If you don't want to use the shortcuts, they're up there. I'm going to trim this line here and this line here. Okay, now that's my rebate, the one you'll have made in class. Joint. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put a line in the middle. So I'm going to press line again. I'm going to scroll down. See, it's got the triangle again to show me it's the middle. So I'm going to click once, drag across the other side, click again until I've got a line. I'm then going to use my mirror feature. So sketch, mirror, doesn't have a shortcut, this one. I'm going to select these two lines, this one and this one. I'm going to select my mirror line, which is this one here. I'm going to click OK, and then hopefully it's mirrored, which it hasn't. Why has that not worked? So I'm going to press Control Z to undo it, or Control Z. Let's try you again, mirror function. So I want you to mirror. I'm going to scroll in here. I want that line and that line. I've selected two. My mirror line is this one. I'm going to click OK this time. Why are you not doing it? For some reason this is not the mirror line. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to press Control Z again because it's gone wrong. So when you all make mistakes, press Z. It's because it's done the middle on this line. Because I've cut this bit off, between there and there is a bit further down. Does that make sense? So I'm going to click that and press Delete on the keyboard. What I'm going to do is press Line again, but this time I'm going to go on this side until it finds the middle. And the middle's a bit further up, and drag it across. Now if I go back and do mirror, and I click this line and this line, and I click my mirror line as this line, there it is. Click OK. There's a mistake I've not made before. So what I'm going to do now is click my T for trim button. I'm going to get rid of that line, and that line, and I've now got my rebate sketch. If I click Stop Sketch, I'm going to click Extrude. I can either go to Create and click Extrude, or I'm going to press E, click the gap in here, and I know the distance is 20 mil high. If I now rotate it round, you can see that we've now got one of the rebate joints sat on top of it. Okay. If I now press A for appearance, I can now make that to a different colour to the one before. I'm going to drag oak onto there. Okay. I'm going to press Escape to get rid of appearance. Now you can notice this one's still blank underneath. If I go to the very top one and click on, and click just slightly off it, it's turned everything off. But that's now all connected on there and all together. Okay, so we've got our first rebate joint. What we're going to do next is we're going to make our next rebate joint. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put another one over here. But what I want is another separate component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to Unsaved, right click and click New Component. Okay, notice it's all gone invisible. Now what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to double click to it and call it Rebate Side 2. Now what I'm going to do this time is cheat, because I basically want this on the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll around and I'm going to go to Construct a Plane, like the ones you started drawing on at the start. I'm going to click the edge of the one we just made, and I'm going to call -50, and that's put it into the middle of my box. Click OK. Alright, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a mirror of an entire body, because we've just made a body in our component. So if I say I want to select this and I want to mirror it in this plane, because it's in the middle, and click OK, I've now got an extra component really quickly. If I now click this one at the top back on, you'll see I've now got two components made really quickly. Okay, so let's make our last ones. I'm going to speed up a little bit now. So I'm going to go on Saved, I'm going to right click and get a new component. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to go to Rebate Side 3. I'm going to make a new sketch this time on the base there. So click on there. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click R for rectangle, and I'm going to make a rectangle in there. I'm going to click Stop Sketch. Ignore that, guys. It's just more work emails coming in. I'm now going to click E for Extrude. I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to make this distance of 20 mil as well. If I click OK, if I zoom it around, you can see the other one. If I now click this one, click off it, you can now see I've got all these separate components all assembled together for me. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go right click, I'm going to make a new component, I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to call this rebate side 4. And then what I'm going to do is exactly what I did with the mirror before. So I'm going to construct a plane off this edge here of -50. We want in the middle. I'm going to create, go to mirror. I want to create that body in this plane here. Click OK. And I've now got the entire rebate plane box moved. Now the thing with doing it like this is I've made everything, don't need to assemble it. It's all in one place, but I can play with any one of these. I can also turn them off, so I can get rid of them so you can't see each of the bits if I just want to get a little bit clearer and see everything I want to work on. Okay, so hopefully you've made your rebate box. Oh, again, so if I click rebate side 4, I can now go to appearance and I can make this look like steel. Let's have a look, let's go pine. There we go. Nope, sorry, forgot to put it in there first. Pine, there we go. I can then select that one. That means rebate side 3, so I can put pine in there. And I've now got my rebate box made. Okay, well done. Hopefully you followed that easily.